Transformation is an ongoing process, and I am excited to bring you along for the ride. In this episode, I'm sharing a behind-the-scenes look at my journey, what I am doing, what I am learning, and how each experience shaped my perspective on personal branding. It is not just about discovery, it is about inspiring you to awaken your own curiosity and begin or deepen your own transformation. So please grab a cup of coffee or tea and get comfortable and join me in exploring the journey of building a brand that is uniquely, authentically yours. So welcome one more time to the Brilliantly Branded podcast. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Brilliantly Branded podcast. Today I am recording this episode from a different place, a place where everybody is coming to many different purposes. One of those is feeling inspired, and that's the reason why I'm here. And I have been starting this transformation journey, and this transformation journey is coming from a process that I am doing mostly every 2 years. So 2 years ago, I decided to create the Brilliantly Branded podcast, and today is time to start something different, something new. That doesn't mean that I'm going to leave the podcast. No, I really love the podcast and really love the purpose that I have behind of the podcast. But the thing today is how I am going to do a transformation process. What is going to be in place and what is going to be the result of that? That probably is the most important thing. One of the things that I have been sharing with you, my audience in general, is how this process have been put in place different elements, different things. One of the things it was thinking how I could stimulate my creativity and my brain, generate new connections on my brain in order for me to really do many different new things, bringing new things to the world. And this is my purpose right now. And I decided to do an experience trip and different countries, different places. And in each of those places, basically, I am going to discover and see what the universe is bringing to me. This is something that I just put it on the table. And in this episode, I'm going to explain you a little bit more details because I have been posting about this and a lot of people are maybe curious and I receive messages, tell us, what are you doing? This is so interesting. But I haven't gave that many details. So in this episode, I'm going to give more details about that. And the reason why I wanted to give you details is because I want you to be with me in this journey. And this journey is going to give you benefits as well, because most of the people know me because the podcast, but many people probably don't know what I am doing, what is my background, what is my professional background, and this is the time for you to know a little bit more about who I am. Basically, my background is in marketing. I have been working for many years in the corporate world. I have had the opportunity to build brands from the different industries and bring into life in different markets, all those markets around the world, not just in Europe, but in Latin America and in United States. So then I decided to go for something different, something more oriented to branding. And the reason why I decided to go for branding is because I consider that these emotional connections that you build with your audiences or with your customers in terms of business and actually in terms of who you are really what defines your personal brand. The way that I am helping my clients today is crafting their messages to put it across in order for them to communicate clearly what they wanted to communicate. Who I am and what I am doing. Who I am is basically something that I'm still discovering in the sense that every day I have the opportunity to discover something new on me. And this is the process that I am doing right now, the process to discover what else can I bring to my life? How can I grow as an individual? How can I grow as a professional? And these two things combined is making me offer support to my clients and helping them to craft their messages and their narratives very clear in the way that they wanted to show themselves outside. That means that I am supporting the process with them hand to hand, for them to really build this personal brand that they wanted to be perceived. Because one thing is when you are communicating about your personal brand, but other very different is how the people are perceiving you. And the way that the people are perceiving you is basically how you put the intention on the communication that you are building and communicated out. So just continue with the story that brought me here. It was getting into the world where many of the things that are happening around me are contributing with this identity. That doesn't mean that I am just trying to looking for my identity, but what I am doing right now basically is wanted to bring different perspectives and different perspectives that will allow other people to understand what are the first point to start to build their personal brands or even their company brands. There is many different things that are happening today, and I started this trip starting touching my roots. And touching my roots is coming back to Colombia, my country, and seeing many things that have been already there, but this time I put a purpose behind, and it was observation. Observation is something very powerful to creativity, to get it into the creativity loop. And I say loop because if you are not there, you don't have the capacity to really get it the most of everything that you are living. Bringing the things that are changing your life, bringing the things that are giving your identity or confirming your identity. So I started this trip in Colombia, in Bogota, where I am coming from. I have opportunity to visit my family, my parents that are still there. And then I just put in the purpose of observation of everything, all the messages, all the sounds, all the smells, all the things that could be make me see the world in a different way. I have been changing countries recently as well, and that is giving me the opportunity to see the same things with a different perspective. Seeing the same things with a different perspective is allowing us to build something new, to open our mind, open our brain, and actually generate new connections in our brains. So after that, I stay in Colombia for just some days. I decide to go to US. US is for me the paradise in terms of customer service, in terms of business, in terms of inspiration. And I just stopped for a minute in Miami. I visited Miami Design District. That is a place that has inspired me a lot. Have a lot of colors, a lot of textures, a lot of things happening around that really makes you realize a world of many opportunities, opportunities to create, opportunities to decide where you want to go, opportunities to dream in a certain way, to get out of your comfort zone. And that is something amazing for me in the sense that when you are having these shots of creativity, these shots of color, these shots of moments, food, taste, and all these things around your sense, it's incredible how you start thinking differently, you start to create new things, and you start to dream a bit more. After that, I decide to take a different path in another city in New York. And this is the place where I am right now. I am in New York. So that is amazing because it's a contrast. It's a contrast. And now I'm living in Europe, in Luxembourg. And of course, it's very different. Each place have their own magic. And I consider that because I love the country where I'm living right now. But it's true that when you come to this environment, it's not my first time in New York, but always when I'm coming here, I realize how powerful it is, how the energy is here. It's a high energy, full of different things, different perspectives, multicultural, people coming from all over the world. And today, from this beautiful terrace that I am, I wanted to share with you how I'm going to manage this trip So one thing that I wanted to say about being in New York and the reasons why I came here is because I put a purpose to this trip. And this trip here in New York specifically is something that I am going to put in an intention and put in a purpose. And the intention is going to be that every experience that I'm going to live, I'm going to connect it with my sense. So I'm going to connect it with my sense because it's two things that I have as a purpose here. One is a personal transformation because all the things are making us grow personally and grow professionally as well. So with these two purposes, the personal and the professional one, I think this is a very good excuse to be here and to be exploring different experiences connected with my sense, with the visuals, with the smells, with the taste, with the touch. And each of those experiences are going to give me something, and by default, it's going to give us something to you as well. So I will be telling you about those experiences. I will try to document it as much as I can. It's not that easy. This is a chaotic city. This is a chaotic moment. You know, the noise now, probably you can hear some of the noise. I am just in the center of Manhattan. So can you imagine how that works? But the most important thing is how this is not going just to fill myself, but how this is going to fill my community and my audience and the people that are listening to the podcast. I am so lucky. I am in the November and here is like a 20 degrees. This is something that is it was not expected, but I consider myself a very lucky person and always receiving the best of the things. And that's why I'm so grateful as well. So I just have to say, let's see how that happened. Let's see how my experience can help you in some way, can show you more about who I am, how I am building my creativity and bringing this charm outside again. And these kind of things is the things that I like to do, that I love to do. And I hope that you have the opportunity to live in that with me. So just to start to wrap up this super short episode, I just have to say I'm very happy that you are listening to my episodes. I'm very happy that you are suggesting me more guests. And always I have this purpose of branding, and more than branding, it's women empowerment through the lens of branding. So I have been trying to put all these experiences, leaving to you something to learn about branding, about my expertise. So said it in that way, I think that I need to go and do many things. And I just hope that you follow all this amazing transformation, because the worst things that can happen is that I am already transforming my way to see the world. So that is already a must. So have a wonderful day and hope to see you soon in the next episode of the Brilliantly Branded podcast. Bye-bye.
I'm grateful by having you as a listener on this episode. I am in the mission of empowering thousands of women around the globe, and I need your support for that. Help me to spread the voice by sharing this episode and subscribe to our social media channels. And remember, if you want to listen to exceptional stories and have someone that inspires you, please get in touch with me, because I will love to have them as a guest to learn from their experience and share their story with you next time. So until the next episode, ciao.